All right, what is up, everybody? I just want to, I know it's an election day in the US and it's a busy day for everybody, and we are in a volatile time, so things are still going to fluctuate more than likely, even though Bitcoin's pushing up a bit today. But I just want to try to do a little speed run through everything because I really don't have a whole lot of time today, but I want to keep you updated on what things are looking like. So our usual thing here that we look at, this is it visualized. Here it is right here. So basically what this is the percentage of coins that are above the 30-day over 360-day cross. That's what the purple line is. That's the main one we watch. And then if we go over here, we look at it. So currently 12% of all tokens on CoinGecko are short-term bullish. We'll just call it that. 10% are medium-term bullish and 16% are long-term bullish. I'm going to label it that way just to make it easier for you in your mind. And currently all of them are technically considered bullish, but that's just taking those specific tokens into account. So if we go back to this chart and we say, okay, if this bottom line is the entry threshold, which back here it provided a very good area to be accumulating, then we feel like we're probably at another area of accumulation. And within 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have our next uptrend begin. At least that's the hope. Here is Bitcoin. It did have, like if you go down to the 3-hour chart, it did have a nice move up, although it's still, I believe, bearish, even on the 3-hour, possibly, yeah. So it's still bearish on 3-hour using Engineering Robo AI. And any of these links for Nansen or Engineering Robo or our Discord is in the description below if you're interested in those. So, you know, kind of a bull flag, you know, if we go to a higher term, which we should always start at a higher time frame, we are above a significant area of what was resistance. You know, we fell back below it right here with this Dragonfly Doji. So it got back below that, but now it's back above it. So if we saw a weekly candle close above this area right here, which is, what is that, what, 69K-ish? Then that would be a really good sign, especially after something like that happened where you had a big move up and then it, you know, just rejected all the way back down. But currently we're still above this trend line, which is great. I mean, I've had this bullish line right here for a long time based on volume profile. So I think as long as we stay above this bullish line, everything looks really good. The point that it would start looking bad, in my opinion, is if we got below like, what, 62.7K, is that what that is? Actually, I haven't really looked at this as closely, but you know, as long as we hold around above 59K, I think we're okay. Wouldn't want to see that. I mean, I'd rather just see a clean retest of this trend line or this bullish line, which we did have it right here on this wick. I mean, that was a perfect retest, and I told our Discord that at the time. So that's what we would really like to see, obviously, is it stay above that bullish line. But currently what we're building, and this on the monthly doesn't look as good, you know, it's kind of rejecting at that level. So we do need to get back above that and ultimately get above the VAH, the value area high. But if you look at like 2-day chart, daily chart, I mean, clearly we're building higher highs, higher lows. I mean, this high right here was higher than this one. This one's higher than this one. This low's higher than that one. And if you want to go back even further, this high right here was higher than this one. So, you know, you're building good market structure. You're staying above the 50 RSI. So currently all we can say is, you know, things look fine. Here's the presidential chart. Things very similar still to what they were back here. You're just kind of following this trend line up until you break out. And you got your horizontal resistance here. I should have saved this before I had this all looking better. But anyway, you're staying against the trend line support. And this was the original idea that I had back when I drew it in April, was that we would just, you know, do some kind of this chop sideways and then maybe have one big dip into the election. This could still happen. So that's around that 48 to 50K range that it could dip down to. And that's where that wick was before. So that would be kind of like a double bottom. So from a higher scale, from a higher time frame, we could still see something like that, and it would be correct to mostly hold this trend line But currently we're above the horizontal resistance, so I don't think any of us would have a problem with it just staying above there if it wanted to. All right, I'm just running through a couple tokens. TITANX I sold here when it had the, well, actually a little bit before the sell signal. I'm kind of hoping it comes back down here to the bullish line. I'd like to buy more there. MAVIA I've been watching. These are mostly our Discord plays that we've been watching. It's holding the support. That's a good place to accumulate. Seems like somebody is accumulating. DEAI is a really good token. Kind of a bearish divergence there, but I don't think it's done yet. It's just running into a lot of resistance right here. So could it dip back down to bullish support first? Yeah, it could. And the reason why that level's key is because it was resistance at one point and then it established support there. So if it was to come back down here to the bullish line, I'd definitely be buying. Personally, is what I'm talking about. It's not financial advice. VPP, what I was noticing here, and the reason why I bought somewhere in here, I don't remember exactly where I bought. I tried to buy near that support line. I noticed that momentum in RSI was starting to build while price was coming down. I believe it had like a 40x move before, so I'm hoping it'll have another move like that in it. But ultimately, I just like the project. It's kind of pushing online poker forward. So here's another one I like, mostly because of what the project represents. It is a kind of like a future tech, well, it's called SNSY to begin with, but it's a future tech type thing where you can store the well, I don't know if it's the memories, but their goal is to make it to where, like, say, maybe your grandmother has passed or something like that, and you have a stored image of their personality. You can still speak to them in the future through AI. It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be as big of a hit as what it seems like it could be, but I mean, there's definitely, people are going to say, oh, well, that's not ethical, or, some people are going to like it, some are not, but it is a futuristic type thing, and I like that. They're pushing the boundaries of things. So I had this buy zone that I told the Discord about, and this is where I want to buy. I'd prefer that it stays above the bullish line because I do hold some currently, but if it gets into this buy zone, I want to buy some. And especially if it comes down to support, which I don't think will happen again, but we'll see. CATALORIAN, it did lose this triangle, but if it gets back above it, especially if it closes above the bullish line, that would be a point to get in for me. QUIL, I did buy some down here about a little bit above 12 cents. It had hit the 30 RSI at that point, and that's usually a point for me to buy. Now, and really what I'm looking for there is if there's a lot of FUD. I didn't know anything about the project at that point, and the only reason I was buying was because of the FUD, trying to get a good value. And I could take profit here. It wouldn't be much profit. It'd be like 20% on my money. There is a risk of it falling back down to support and maybe even falling below it. But for now, it's holding. I think if it dropped below 12 cents again with a full daily candle, it would likely be a reason to consider that it could come below support. But so far, it looks okay. And then Boson is another one we watch in our Discord. It's kind of in a support area out here, which I don't have a line for that. But if you're looking to accumulate this one, it's not a bad place, but currently it is a sell signal. This is Engineering Robo AI. We do have let me find it here. We do have a channel that tracks these, and it says if it's an AI sell or an AI buy. If it's an AI buy, then usually that's a good point to consider getting in on a daily chart. And there are a few other channels that we have, like, we've got our curated top smart money wallets that we follow plays on. And this is our top DGen wallets. They may be getting to Solana memes or ETH memes. And then we also have, these are like the quicker plays here, the brand new tokens that are launching. So we watch Solana specifically for that. And then I'm also working on a Twitter feed, trying to find tokens that haven't released yet and doing a keyword search. And then it posts something on here if that keyword is hit, like if the contract address is posted or something like that. You can see right here, this was a keyword tweet right here that came through because of the keyword. So we've got a lot of automated channels that you can actually find plays because smart money are getting into them. That's our whole edge, is we want to be getting into tokens that smart money is currently investing in, because we know that those are the ones that are the most interesting right now. And then, you know, if some of those align with these buy and sell signals, then that's even better. It gives you more conviction. Of course, in this channel for Engineering Robo AI, we don't cover every token, but we cover quite a few. I think it's maybe 150 tokens so far. It's more of the higher cap tokens, but there are some degen meme type tokens in there as well, like Andy or Pepe, things like that. But we have a very active, you know, long-term play channel, very active degen channel where it's shorter-term plays as well. And then to wrap this up, I want to, this is kind of mostly for people in our Discord that want to get better at using GMGN.AI to try to filter out some of these more risky Solana memes. You know, we want to find the best ones that aren't a scam, that aren't a rug pull. And so I want to go over this. You know, if you like using GMGN.AI, then this will be useful to you as well, because I am doing a public video on this. But what I did was I looked up on GMGN's website, and actually let me bring another one over here. I think this is the one I wanted to show actually. So within their website, which all you have to do is just type GMGN.AI, and then you can go down here to the About, or actually it's the Academy button here at the bottom, on the bottom right. And now you can look, you know, this is, they have a whole guidebook on how to use it. So let's see. So the thing I like to talk about is their token security checks, because if you're watching their security checks, kind of like an audit, then you get a quick snapshot of whether these tokens that you want to invest in are even worth looking at. You know, you don't have to put a whole lot of research into it if you find one that doesn't look good. So let's just go through it real quick. Let's see, mintable, or actually they've got it on mint disable. So if it's indicated yes, then that means the token creator can't produce more tokens, which would be manipulation or dilution of the token, you know, where they could make more money off of it if they dumped it. Let's see. So top 10 holders, if it's a yes, if it's in the green, then that means less than 30% of the total supply is held by the top 10 token holders, which is exactly what you want. Typically, just so you know, most people looking for a good token to invest in would like to see that under 20%. And that's what insiders will tell you. But looks like they have it set for just under 30%, and that's fine. Blacklist, you're just checking to see if it's a blacklisted creator, you know, somebody that dumps a lot. Actually, I take that back. Hang on. It says it's meaning that the project cannot blacklist any wallet's transaction, reducing the risk of financial entrapment. Oh, so, okay. If you were on the dev's blacklist, you wouldn't be able to sell the token. So if it's not blacklisted, then they're not able to blacklist anybody. You know, you wouldn't want to buy a token and then not be able to sell it. That would be a pretty scammy thing to do for a creator to do that to you. Let's see, burnt. Displaying the burn pool percentage, the higher the ratio, the better, with 100% indicating that the project cannot withdraw from the liquidity pool. So you want to see those, you want to see that it's burned. Rug probability, this will display the probability that it's a rug pull by analyzing all the holders. So it analyzes these holders to see how many times they rug pull other tokens. And, you know, they may be insiders, some of them. And then it also has the rug history, display which rug pull tokens have been previously launched by this creator. So that's a good thing that GMGN does for you, is it kind of analyzes all this stuff on the fly. It keeps a database of the stuff. Honeypot, when it's selected yes, it indicates a honeypot, where the token creator uses technical measures to restrict the sale of tokens, leading to potential investment losses. It relies on third-party data, such as GoPlus. Okay, so you never want it to say that it's a honeypot. You always want it to be in the green here and that it's not a honeypot. Let's see. So that's kind of like the, restricting the sale of the token is kind of like the blacklist thing. It's very similar. You don't ever want somebody that can create a token to make it where you can't sell it. Let's see, contract permission, this is renounced. Contract permissions have been relinquished. So you don't want them to be able to have other contract permissions, such as, kind of like the blacklist thing we were talking about, where they can do things to the token contract after it's already launched. You want them to relinquish that authority. I don't know where that shows up here. Oh, there it is, renounced, yes. So you want that, if it's in the green, then it's good. You want everything to be in the green. Locked burn, I think we went through that already. Buy sell tax, you don't want to see any buy sell tax usually. So if you see here, let me just pull up one. Where's the rug pull? Okay, so right here at the top, rug pull, it analyzes, certain holders, the holders that are in here and how long they've held. It shows that they dumped it, or they are typically somebody that does dump a token quickly. I think that's how there's really not any clear description of that exactly, but if you see 100% rug pull and you see insiders, you don't want to see insiders holding a quantity, I can't remember what it puts it at, maybe over 7%. It could be as much as 10%, I'm not sure. But just look right here on the audit, the risk. You can click on the risk thing here and see what's going on. It wasn't burned. Everything else looks fine, but it wasn't burned. So, even though the token's pumping, tokens can definitely pump even though some of this shows up. But once these insiders decide to sell, they bought very early. So once they decide to sell, once the dev decides to sell, it could really dump price quickly. So that's the only risk. And I don't show that the dev has sold yet. They bought this whole block right here. So they own a large portion of the total supply. So if they decide to dump, you can forget it. You're not going to have time to sell quickly. They control everything basically as far as the price action. And it looks like they may be dumping right here. And if you ever want to see who's selling, you can always just go to all activity and go down here and see, right there you got insiders right there. If you see this little mouse in the red, that's an insider selling. So if I was to see something like that, I'd probably be getting out. Or if I saw the top 10 wallets selling a lot, here's the top 10 wallets. Well, here's one of the insiders and a dev wallet. They haven't sold anything. Well, there we go. Some of the top holders are starting to sell now. So these are some of the things you want to watch. Is this the dev? I don't know who this is exactly. It's just showing it's a top holder. Yeah. So it's very likely the top holders are going to have insiders included in it, and sometimes possibly the dev as well. So you can see while we were watching that in real time, they dumped the price. Just to give you one more example, let me see if I can. Okay, so this one's completely in the green. The insiders are less than 2%. There's no rug pull chance here, although it could still dump. People are going to take profits, right? But the dev bought and sold. Dev bought here, sold here, took their profits, and then it had a slow climb up. So people have definitely made money here. Like if you had bought somewhere in here, I think the thing people need to understand is that they need to take profits on the way up. So let's just say you bought there. You would have had a 2 to 3x in there that you could have taken at least your initials out. And I'm not saying this token's done, it could keep moving, but think about taking profits earlier than usual. You don't have to wait until you hit a 10x. That would be great, right? We'd all love a 10x and just to sell it all on the 10x, but think about how much more under control you would feel if you had taken your initial out already and you were letting the rest ride for free, you'd be a lot less emotionally inclined to sell just because you saw one quick red candle. Because this thing could keep going, but it could dump too. I mean, nobody knows except maybe the dev. So anyway, that's what you want to see. You want to see everything in the green. It's still a very risky game. I mean, this could bull flag out here and then take off again, or it could start to fake out a bull flag and then just drop. So, you know, just be careful when you're trading. It's definitely difficult to trade these memes. So we just do the best we can with them. And, you know, I have had people lately in our Discord that have been talking about, you know, 2x, 3x, 10x. They are making money off these things, but it's still difficult. You're going to lose money. They are risky. Okay. And it does look like this thing's starting to try to move back up. But anyway, hopefully that was helpful. If there's anything that I talked about that was something that was more interesting to you, then post it in the comments below and we'll cover more of that in the future. If there's a specific token you want to look at, you know, anything, just go ahead and post it there at the bottom. Hit the like so more people can see this kind of content. If there's different kind of content you want to see, just let me know. But mostly what I show you every time I do these videos is exactly what we cover in our Discord. So if you like what you see and you want to check our Discord out, it's there in the description. Or if you want to check out Engineering Robo AI, it has a free trial for 7 days. Look there in the description for that. And then, of course, Nansen is what we use a lot of the time to see what smart money is doing. And actually, I didn't look at that today, but normally what I would do, I'll do that in a different video, maybe next week. But normally what I would do is I would go in here to Nansen and show you some things that smart money is doing. Be aware that you don't have to actually subscribe to Nansen to see some of these features. Like this one right here is free, and there's other free features in it. So just sign up and check it out. There is a link below. Just click that, sign up, check it out. You don't have to spend anything. If you like what you see, you could even, you know, contact support down here or somewhere. I think it's under help maybe. Yeah, email Nansen support, and then just let them know you want to do a one-on-one, and they'll schedule a time with you, and they'll walk you through everything, and you can see if you want to invest in it, if you want to buy it. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. We'll do another one soon. Have a good week. Don't let all the emotions of the election, if you're in the US, don't let those emotions drive you crazy. You know, the system's designed to divide us. Let's just try to come together and find common ground on things, but mostly just live your life. I mean, you can still exact change in your local community no matter who wins the election. Okay, talk to you soon.